Good morning, YouTubers. How's everything going? This is a video that's going to be really, really sad for me to be posting, but I need to do it because I have to admit to when I make mistakes. And as a modeler, I try not to make as many mistakes as I possibly can. Well, here I am happily working on the roof for Roy Eltham's project, and I'm fitting everything in nice and pretty and all that kind of stuff. Um, I make a mistake with the roof, and I admit the mistake that I made with the roof. So, with that being said, I corrected the mistake and carried on, blah, blah, blah. I get a text message from Mr. Roy, and he says to me, recheck your measurements, please. And I said, okay, I'll do that, but I don't think I'm wrong. So anyhow, little to be said, I was wrong. And I will show you guys how I get measurements and how you guys can get measurements if you're doing scratch builds of the footprint of the building that you want to model. So I did go back and remeasure everything, and lo and behold, I made a very, very, very big mistake. And as you will see in the video, what the mistake was. So, without further ado, let's get on to the first part I'm going to show you is how to get the measurements. And the second part is I'm going to show you what I did to correct what I did wrong. So, with all that being said, let's get on with this video. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is BNSF6951, a Vinny Vid Productions video. Hi, I'm Vinny and I will be your host. This is a model railroad channel, so if you enjoy watching scratch builds, layout updates, and rail fanning, and lots of other stuff that pertains to model railroading, this is the channel for you. So if you like what you see, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And after you hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit that bell. That'll give you a notification of any time I do a video or live stream. Anyhow, I'm going to ask you guys to do one more thing, and that is to give me the thumbs up. That will help my analytics with YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the video, so let's get going. First, a word from my sponsors. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the cuz sent you. Alright guys, what you're looking at right now is a topographical view of the Oxnard Travel Center. As you can see right here, if you can see my cursor moving around, these little bullseye dealy-mabobbers right here, that's how you can measure the footprint of this building. So in other words, from here to here, down here it says it's 52.36 feet or 15.96 meters. So now, excuse me, I can take this guy right here and I can move him all the way across to right there. And I'll get the measurement for that, which is 115 feet, 115.36 feet. So, the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is a great way, if you're doing scratch builds, to get exact sizes. So, in other words, if I want to go, let's say, I'll take this one down here, and then take this one down here, and I'll put him right about there. So, I'm measuring this building right here, and that building measures out at 51.59 feet. So on and so forth. So anyhow, the reason why I'm showing you this is because for some reason or another, I don't know why I did this, but I converted everything. Instead of 115 scale feet, I converted to 300 scale feet. And everything was according to that 300 scale feet. So needless to say, this model I am building for Roy Eltham is totally not to scale. So I will be doing another version of it with better measurements. So stay tuned and I'll show you how that's going to work out. Be back in a few. Alright, so along with the bad news, I also came across some good news. On Saturday after my last live stream, I took the advice of some of my people that were in the chat and said go to Hobby Lobby and check out their paint collection. So I did that, and I got pretty lucky because I found a couple of colors, 4 colors to be exact, that might match the criteria that we're looking for. First one is Terracotta number 1, and you can see that it is way too dark, and I don't think I'd use that one unless if I put more mortar on there it changes the colors, but no, that one is out. Second one is Terracotta number 2, and as you can see that one there is a lot closer to what we're looking for, and I'm bound to go with that one if I have to. Anyhow, the third one here is orange color, and it is called Apricot. And to me, if you look at the overall picture of the building and put that picture in its place, you'll see that it kind of matches really close. Finally, we got an orange number 4, and or orange number 2, I should say, and you can see that it is way too dark. Anyhow, with all of that being said, I think it's time for us to get on with the rest of this video. And just a little note that when all the roof sections that you see me build in this video will also apply to the new build that I'll be doing. Anyhow, with all of that being said, alright guys, this is going to be a continuation of the Oxnard Travel Center. And as you can see, what's in front of you now is a lot of blue tape and a lot of white plastic. Anyhow, these are all the roof sections that I have kind of mocked up for right now. The way I do it is pretty much unethical, and I will show you guys how I do that. But what we're going to cover all of this plastic, these are templates that are going to have the facade actually glued to these to give it extra strength. So I'm going to be using this JTT Rig Roof in HO scale. It's the only thing I was able to get other than making it by myself. And there's going to be quite several cuts that have to be done on here. For instance, the full width of this does not equal the full width of the building. So I'm going to have to lay down just the middle section and then cut in the 2 end pieces, and hopefully I can make it look good. Anyhow, these are the main roofs that we have to start with, and everything else works off of these. As you can see, they're all temporarily in here, and we're going to continue on from that. So I'm going to take some of this apart right now, and this is the exact roof that I want to use because it fits perfectly between the supports that I have underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and make another one out of the sheet plastic first at the same exact size as this one, and then we'll begin from there. So stay tuned and we will be back shortly. Alright guys, we're going to take final measurements now and start preparing the roofs for their final assembly. Anyhow, I know that this building is 12 inches from here to here. What I don't know is what it is from here to here. So we're going to measure from this point to this point so I get my supports and my roof exactly where I need them to be. So I am using the metric system. To me, when it gets down to like the really small fractions, it's just easier for me to read on the metric scale. So here we go. We have exactly 190 millimeters. Now if I turn that over, it gives me 7.5 inches. So either way, it's good. Anyhow, let me turn the camera around and we'll get over to the work area, which is my former dining area, and we'll start preparing this roof. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we know that these sheets of plastic come 12 inches by 24 inches, so I know that my width is going to be correct. Now, what I didn't measure previously was the height that I'm going to need, and that's going to be 85 millimeters. So we're going to go ahead and measure out 85 millimeters, and I'm doing 85 millimeters because I want a 1 millimeter overhang, because there's going to be a trim fascia that goes right below the eave or the slope of the roof. So here, we do here, it's 85, and then we do 85 on this side. There, and now we'll go ahead and draw this across. Alright. Alright, so now we got the height. Now we need to measure that middle section. Now I know what that is, was 190 millimeters as we said before. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to find the center line of this, and that would be the center line right there, and we know we need 190 millimeters, so half of that would be 95, right? 95 and 90 is 180, yeah, 95, and so we'll put a tick mark here, and we will put a tick mark here, and now we'll go from the corner up to those tick marks, and we should have the exact replica of what I need. So let's go ahead and do that. And if this one is right, I will actually, after I cut this out, I will take it over to the building and see if it's right. And if it is right, then we'll just go ahead and make a carbon copy of this one. So I'll have both halves of the roof. All right, there's one line. There's my second line. Alright, so now what I need to do is cut it out. So let me turn this all around and we'll go ahead and cut this out. Actually, I can just turn the whole mat around. Hey, alright, so now, actually I'm going to take a minute and go change the blade because this blade is pretty old, so stay tuned and I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back and I have a brand new blade in my knife. So let's see if we can cut this without cutting my fingers. And again, I always let the knife do the work. First pass is always nice and slow and easy. My fingers aren't what they used to be. Ow! I think that's going to bring blood. No, not yet. Now this is only 20,000 plastic, so it cuts real easy. And as you can see, we just cut our first piece. Nope, no blood. Right now we're just going to cut the two corner pieces out. And I'm going to save these pieces because those are going to be the templates for me to cut out these little corners that I'm going to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this. Oh look, it is bleeding. Oh no, I'm going to die. I'm going to mark this left and left. Oops. And this one R and R. I better clean my... Alright guys, I'm still alive. Actually, it sliced it pretty good. But anyhow, it stopped bleeding and I'm alive. So now we're going to head and carry, and I did just double check my measurements, and I did find out that my top measurement here was off by 1/8 of an inch, so I had to redo that. So anyhow, the measurements are 190 millimeters if you're using the metric scale, or 7.5 inches. This is 85 millimeters, or 4 1/8 inches, and then this is 300 millimeters, or 12 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these angles out, and I'm going to reproduce another one of these out of that, and I should have two perfect pieces of main roof. So hang out, and let's get this going. So I just hope I can hold this steady enough for me to get the cut right. Okay, here we go. I won't cut my finger this time. And again, like I said, I'm going to save these end pieces because they will be the templates for the pieces that I need to fill in over here. Alright, and we'll cut this piece out right there in the corner and right down my mark. Alright. Alright, here we go. Oops, that wasn't good. See, I can't. Let me see if I move it down this way so I can clamp under the table with my thumb. Might help me out. These cuts have to be pretty close to perfect because the mating pieces I got to fit into these just perfectly also. And I'll show you those here in a few minutes after we get this guy cut out. Alright, so there we go. One piece there, and one piece there. Alright, I'm going to take a break because it is very early in the morning and I want to eat some breakfast. So we'll talk to you guys here in a little bit. Alright guys, what you're looking at now is me starting to put the facade roofing on here. And as you can see, I've got this whole section right here is all completed. I'm going to show you how I did this guy. I'm not good with math and trigonometry and all that stuff, so I had to do the best I could. So I just kind of laid this underneath and traced it out. And so now we're ready to cut it, and let's see if it cuts out and it winds up to be good. So first thing we're going to do is cut the length down. And it is the second line, not the first line. And so now what I'm trying to do also is to make sure that there is no rib right here, so I want to add a rib to this side. So make sure I cut it on the outside of the rib so it'll match up. Like these sides here worked out perfectly, you can't even tell it's a seam. Alright, here we go. I didn't like that. Alright. Let's cut the diag next. And I am trying to get everything as square as possible with this. So, let's see how this is going to work out. Alright, and now the last cut would be this one. And hopefully these are vertical with these ones and the seam will wind up to be good. Now did I mention that the 6-inch width of this was exactly the 190 that I needed, so that worked out really well for me. Now, here's a piece I just cut out. And let's see if it fits in here. Oh, look at that, just like downtown. I'm happy with that. Now, just to make it a little cleaner, I'm going to go ahead and erase this line that's here so it don't distract me or you. Now we'll put it right in place. Right up to there, bring him down to there. And I think that might need a little bit of work. Or I could probably sand it down right in there. But anyhow, it looks good. And the lines are perfectly vertical. And so we're looking good. I'm going to tape that in place. Now, out of all the roofs that are on this building, this is the main roof, and everything that I build, it will all be off of this roof right here. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and take the tape up to here, and let's see if I can bend it a little bit and get it onto the building and see how it looks. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, everything I just showed you is going to have to be trashed. Why? Because I just looked at the picture before I started doing all these roof sections, and I found out that, hey, there's a lot of overhang right here, and there's a lot of overhang right here, and another one over here. So everything I just did, I have to redo and account for that. There's a little bit of the same material as the roof is down here, and also along the edge up here, and also along the front edge over here. So, rookie mistake. I'm sorry I did that. Now I have to redo everything. So stay tuned and let's see how much we can get done. Alright guys, I am going to show you the difference between what I have already built and what I really need to build. So as you can see from the end of the tower right there, this is the original build. As you can see, it's got all the brickwork and some of the roof work done. All the way to the end of that little privacy wall right there is about 22.5 inches. And I measured this building right here at 300 feet, which was the first mistake that I made. And I also measured it to be 80 feet across. And then every building after that was built according to the footprint that I see and what I thought I was seeing on the video that I showed you guys earlier. Anyhow, this is going to be the revised section of what I just built. And as you can see, I'll back up right here so it's a lot easier. It is a lot smaller as compared to what's behind it. Let me see if I can back this out a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Now, there are a few components I'm going to be using from the previous build, only because I think they will look okay with this build. Anyhow, the new size is 115 feet that way and 55 feet that way. And each building was built according to this building now. So what I'm going to be doing actually is I am going to be using the tower and the breezeway from that build, and also I'm going to be using these walls right here as part of this build because they work. There's no reason why I can't use them. They seem to fit and work just fine. So with all that being said, I'm going to end this video here because I have to be cutting out all the arches on here, and then also I got the inside wall to do, windows and such, and also windows are going to be different sizes, and I'll show you that here in a minute just before we end this video. So with all that being said, we'll talk to you guys later, and I'll show you some highlights of how I build this structure. Alright guys, I just want to make one thing a little bit clear about the windows on this. These were the original windows I was going to use on the original build. Now as you can see, this is going to be the new interior wall. As you can see, these windows are way too big for this here. So I'm going to downsize the windows. These are 40 pane, but they were HO and they fit the building perfectly. So these are the ones I'm going to substitute. These are 40 pane N scale. And now there are 3 more windows that go down here. So anyhow, if I put these in place, or after I get them all spaced out where they're supposed to be, you can see that they fit a lot better. And I'm also going to use the same doors because they work, because they are N scale. So anyhow, I let you guys know that basically I'm starting from scratch. This whole building needs to get redone. Anyhow, with all that being said, now we can say goodbye, and we'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 out.